Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Real Purpose Podcast. I'm Michelle Carre.
And I'm Trevor. This podcast is about finding real purpose in our businesses, communities, and lives.
Yes. So this is our second episode.
Second episode. First time solo.
Yeah, just you and me.
Yeah.
It's exciting. Last time we talked about real estate with real purpose and why we had started the Angel program. And then we talked about Switchback Creative and how you guys want to have an element of giving back in your business.
Yeah.
But we didn't come up with these things.
No.
Lots of businesses give back in lots of different ways. And it was funny, Trevor, because I was away this summer for a couple of days. My daughter and I joined my parents and my sister camping.
Okay.
And so we always pick up magazines to read on the beach.
Yeah.
So I picked up a People magazine, obviously.
Obviously, yeah.
And like home decor ones. And I was, flipping through it, expecting just to see who wore what and all that kind of stuff. But in the can you believe that? I flipped it right to the page.
Wow.
I didn't even have it marked. That's amazing. But I'm reading through, and they have this article, 50 companies that care.
Very cool.
And it kind of went through what the company was and what they did to give back. And it was incredible to read it. It was the first time Matt ever said, "Oh, don't recycle that magazine. I'd like to read some of it." He's never said that about a People magazine in his life. So I kind of wanted to just explore that idea of how companies give back.
Yep.
So I think the one that we hear, I don't know if it's most often, but is the buy one, give one.
Yeah.
So I believe Tom's Shoes does that.
I think they're the ones that do that.
In fact, I think I bought a pair once because I was like, wow, I don't really need them, but someone else needs shoes, so I should help by buying one. But yeah, I think that's a really neat idea. And sometimes it's with products directly.
Even restaurants will do that too, where you buy a meal, they will pay for a meal for someone in need, or I think
the meal share or something.
Yeah, it's something like that.
There's some really cool companies out there doing stuff like that. You know of one.
I know of one.
I love it.
If you're watching this, most of what you're seeing right now is of their stuff. They're called 10 Tree. So every article of clothing or accessory you buy or purchase through them, they will plant 10 trees. And there's, I believe there's like 8 or 9 or 10 locations around the world that they will plant these trees in. You used to be able, before they became a lot bigger than what they were when they started, you used to be able to actually pick where your 10 trees would go. But now you just kind of go into the pool and they plant. They still tell you where your trees are going.
Yeah.
So for everything you buy, I have a wallet, I have a hat, a sweater. They just take 10 trees and they plant them in countries that need them, or they plant in Canada, Argentina. I don't remember all the countries that they plant. Ecuador, I think, is one.
Wow.
And they also, every once in a while, they'll have these initiatives. Recently I seen on their website the purchases that were for a specific time frame were actually going to help the forest fires in BC and Alberta.
Oh, interesting.
So they do, they're they're Canadian companies, which is really cool. So I think they're based out of Vancouver.
Okay.
Just a really kind of cool company. Check them out, 10 Tree. I get all my sweaters there, and their hats are awesome.
I'm definitely going to check it out.
So it's just, you know what, it's the same as buying a sweater anywhere. It's no cheaper than going anywhere else. It's roughly the same as buying a good quality sweater anywhere else.
Yeah.
I just like the fact that 10 trees get planted.
Yeah.
And also on their website, for every product or article of clothing you look at, they have statistics of how much water is being used to make this product, how much garbage or how much waste this product creates. And so they show the graph of traditional ways of making this sweater, and then how they do what they do to reduce the waste too. So
even if it is slightly more expensive, the waste or the environmental impact to make that product versus something that might be $10 cheaper is significant. What's the cost of that? I mean, really?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
So they're just a company that I really kind of relate with, and I like all their stuff.
I'm definitely going to check that out. 10 Tree, and I love their name too, because you hear Tentree, and like this is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, like it's just a name. But then you explain it to me. Oh, that's why it's 10 trees.
Yeah.
That's a lot of trees.
And sorry, and I'll show
but
you.
wait, there's more.
So for every piece of clothing you get this little disc, and when you flip it over your account, you enter in that code, and that's how you register your 10 trees, and that's how they give you your kind of. And for more trees you get more money back too. So for every tree you plant, you get I can't remember.
Oh, and it's a little 10.
Yeah.
Oh,
and a tree in the middle.
That's fantastic branding.
It's really good.
It's
branding,
a good name. It's a good give back. I love it all.
So and it kind of fits our brand too because of all the mountains and the trees and
switchbacks. And
so I kind of like to fit the coder look.
Yeah, the coder look. There's a look.
Toques and hats and sweaters.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And some businesses do I love the idea of buy one, give one of their actual product.
Yep.
Buy one, give one of something. I wouldn't say trees are unrelated. Obviously, they've related it into their branding, but giving something good back to the world.
Yeah.
But then sometimes it's also services, or we do. You guys actually. Because you guys do branding and website development, but with your Trailblazer program, you give one of those every year.
Our time, we volunteer our time.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And we try to help the people that are going to directly help the community.
Yes.
Is kind of our mandate.
Yeah, I love that.
Because, there's a lot of events where you can, businesses donate their services, or they donate products and stuff like that. But, we're more of a business to business company.
Yeah.
So we can't donate a website to someone in need because they don't really need a website or they don't need a logo or branding.
Yeah.
But if we can help the charities and the organizations that are directly helping the people that need it the most in the community, then I guess that's an indirect way of directly helping where we want to go. So
that's great.
That's kind of why we do that. That's why we started our Trailblazer.
That's cool.
So
the other one, as I was reading through these 50 companies that came up, was promoting issues or supporting issues. So sometimes they were things around marginalized communities where their business might not necessarily have a lot to do with it, but they've taken on that cause or that community or whatever to champion it.
Yeah.
Which I think is a really cool way to give back, because sometimes I think that might stop business owners sometimes where they go, well, I don't really know how I could give back. But the thing is, it doesn't necessarily have to be a direct link.
Yeah.
Right? I think it can be, we do this as a business and we support this cause.
Yeah.
And the link is that we support the cause. It's close to our hearts.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think that one's an interesting one. A couple of them I was reading was about encouraging employees volunteering.
Yeah.
So some of them, and I'm not calling out the company specifically because I don't want to make a mistake about which is which, but we will dig into some of these because that's what we want to do.
Yeah,
we want to maybe interview people or, just talk about a specific company and their things sometimes. So we will do that in other episodes. But one I was reading about, they actually give grants to their employees.
That's a really neat idea.
Or paid time off.
Yeah.
Or one company, it was something, I don't know if it was 24 hours a year or a month or quarter, whatever it was, but they give their employees 24 hours to utilize for volunteering.
Wow.
So it could be 2 hours here, 5 hours there, 8 hours there.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's a unique way of doing that too, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you don't have that direct way where you can directly give what your company does or a product or something. So I like hearing that because that's such a creative way of giving back, of saying hey, we're gonna support you. We're gonna give you 24 hours so that you can go out. And it's kind of a good involvement in team involvement too with your own company, because I think a lot of people would bring their own causes to the table and say, hey, we all need to get behind this, right?
Yes.
We all need to kind of volunteer and champion this. So I think that's a really creative way of giving back. Yeah.
What I liked about it too was that one company can help so many organizations.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
Because one employee might have a real passion for, finding, research for cancer or something like that.
Totally.
Whereas another employee might be really focused on animals, and another one might be focused on homelessness.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But for one company to give to all those things, it's like it can be really difficult. But if you promote your people to be able to do that, they're happy giving back. It fills their spirit, which is amazing.
And it's good, I think, for like company engagement and even just to get to know people even better. If you know what their passions are outside of work and what they truly deeply care for, I think it makes you a better company. And even just like as a running a business, to like, that would be a huge retaining factor too. That your company cares that much about you, that they're going to support what you want to support.
Going up,
which is really cool.
Can you imagine like a review, like you're going in for your quarterly review or whatever, and your team leader says, okay, so we have 12 hours blocked for this quarter or whatever. What are you going to support?
Yeah.
Where are you going to volunteer? Like nobody has that conversation in a review.
Yeah, totally.
But that would be amazing.
Yeah.
I love that one. One of the more obvious ones is donating money or a percentage of the profits, which is, I think we see that a lot with companies. I will say, though, sometimes they don't tell us that much.
Yeah.
So companies, if you're donating a percentage of your profits, like tell me.
Yeah.
Like loud and proud, because, well, just like Tentree, you can buy a sweater anywhere, but you know that buying it there supports the cause growing the trees and planting them. So if I'm between A or B, but one of them says, hey, by the way, we do this.
Don't you guys do that?
I guess so. I mean, it's not a direct percentage, but it's certainly time and money going into Airdrie Angel.
For sure. Yeah.
And I got to be honest though. I say that to businesses, like, tell us loud and proud. I'm terrible.
Yeah.
I am terrible.
Well, it's hard because, like, I think even for us, you do it because you want to make a change. You don't want to, take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Like, there's almost something about it that you just don't want to taint, maybe. Like, just like, you know what, I'm gonna, like, this is just mine, and I don't want to brag about it. Like, because it's not something you want to brag about, right? But you should be proud of it. Like, you guys support a lot of things, and you've built the Airdrie Angel up quite big in the community, and you guys should be proud. You should be telling people that. Like, that's a big deal.
I think maybe it's just getting the verbiage around, because you don't want to come across like,
this is what I do.
Give me a pat on the back, I'm so special.
Yeah.
Because I'm super proud of what we've been able to accomplish. And like, when I say we, I mean like us and a bazillion amazing people, you and Susie included. Like, it's just incredible. And I want people to know that we care. You know what? Actually, no, that's not what it is. I want people to know that it's more than real estate. It's more than selling the house.
Yeah.
Like, I really want you to feel like you're part of a community.
Yeah.
And you either know that we've got each other's backs when things are going not so good, or that there's programs in place that help each other out in case you're one of them, or if you're never one of them, just knowing that exists. That's the thing. That's what I should say.
Yeah,
that's what I should say. Great. All right, we're done now. I have my script. No. And then I shouldn't say the last one. There's probably a lot more, but I was trying to pick the highlights of them.
Well, there's 50 apparently.
Exactly. Was building or creating something.
Yeah.
So like, some companies will like donate portions of their profits to a cause or whatever. And sometimes, I guess Airdrie Angel is sort of building and creating something. But when I was reading the magazine article, I was thinking more like they went out and they built a playground. Or they went out and they built a community gardens, or, something that's a physical thing that people can go to. Kind of like
Habitat for Humanity kind of thing?
Exactly. Yeah, that's a great example of something like that. I think it's really cool when you can see a physical example of someone giving back. Yeah, and even having companies like volunteer to, maybe they don't have the knowledge to build the park, but they can gather the people that do and volunteer their time to help build whatever it is in the community. I think that's cool too, right? So fun fact, I don't know if it's really a fun fact, but I'm actually going to be working with the Airdrie Winter Games
Oh, cool.
So the youth games. So I was part of the 2014 games, the summer games, and I was like, winter? This girl does not go out in the winter. No thanks. But anyways, I've been chatting with Shauna, who's leading the team with all her glory. All their glory. They're all amazing. But I'm going to be helping them with the volunteering piece of it. And one of the things that I want to do is reach out to companies exactly like what you just said and say, hey, we need someone to help with the food center on the Saturday.
Yeah.
Would your company want to help out? If they have some sort of a program where they're like, hey, we commit to doing something and we'll send the employees to help out.
Yeah, very cool.
That's fantastic because then it's great team building for them.
Yeah.
We get the volunteers we need for that day. And to be honest, for the amount of time I've volunteered, it's way more fun when you're with a friend.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Like I've done casinos and like the what is it, like 11 to 4 a.m. shift is the worst and the best. Because if you get a friend to go with you, it's a blast. It really is. I mean, it's a rough morning the next day, but you know, it's fun. So I think it's a great opportunity for companies to create a nice team building environment where coworkers can become friends.
Absolutely, yeah.
So
that team building aspect. If you can have a help your community part of that. Yeah. That's just a win-win for both, right? Where everybody gets to know everybody a little bit better outside of work. Yeah. And you're making the place where you work better. Like I think as a business owner, you can't just keep taking from the community without giving back to the community. So even if you've taken people from the community and you employ them, it's nice to let them give back to the community too and let them, I don't know, do what they're passionate about too. And giving back to that community, like it's just that what is it? Cyclical?
Cyclical.
Sorry. You just can't, you can't keep taking and expecting good things without giving a little bit back. So I guess this is my shout out. If you're a business owner in Airdrie or Calgary or surrounding area, and you have employees that would want to volunteer or you have a program like that, give me a call, get in touch with me because I would be happy to work with teams like that. I think that's amazing. So the Real Purpose Podcast is brought to you by the Carre Group, a real estate team that wants you to love your community as much as you love your home. Visit thecarregroup.ca so we can learn how to help you today. Okay, Trevor, so the first Airdrie Angel story is about Cindy and William. And William was in a car accident that changed his life, really impacted him physically and affected his work. But this family has seen a lot of car accidents. And I'm going to let you hear this story and my chat with Cindy. Okay. I honestly couldn't believe what she was telling me. It was pretty crazy. Wow. So let's go into that. Okay.
Today I'm sitting here with you, Cindy, and we chatted on the phone yesterday. We were talking a bit about what you and your husband, William, have been through. It's been a lot in the last 18 months.
A lot.
Tell me a little bit about what you guys have faced.
Everything was going good until he was at work one day. He worked for a roofing company. He was a roofing inspector. They were stopped at a light. And when the light turned green, the girl in the front, her car stalled. But the big gravel truck semi coming behind didn't stop. And they figure they hit him, rear-ended him at about 90 kilometers an hour.
Oh. Wow.
And he was stopped.
Yeah. So what's it been like for him since the accident?
Well, he never stopped working. He went to work every day.
Really?
Yep. Hurt.
Yeah.
Severe concussion, whiplash. Hurt his back, his hip and his leg. He also got, from such a bad concussion, he was really dizzy. And he couldn't go up on the ladders, so he wasn't able to do his job very well.
Yeah. Now, he wasn't the only one in your family, though, that was hit by a truck.
No. A few months later, our son-in-law, and he was stopped at a red light. Same thing. He got rear-ended by a semi.
And then your brother-in-law.
That was in Saskatchewan, on his way back into Saskatoon on a double highway. And he saw police had somebody pulled over up ahead, so he switched lanes to go past. And the guy behind just plowed right into him at about 127 km an hour, they said. The police witnessed everything on that one.
And then it was your grandparents, or
My daughter-in-law, last month, I had to drive her to Lethbridge. Her grandparents T-boned by a semi, and they were both instantly killed.
That's a lot
Yeah.
of vehicle accidents for one family in 18 months.
And on the way out there, we saw a semi accident where it sheared off the whole front of a big Super Duty truck.
What's it like to get in your car?
I don't drive very much anymore.
Yeah,
I stay home.
yeah.
I don't go out unless I have to. My husband's terrified,
You guys have always been in this line of work.
so we don't.
So all of a sudden you can't physically do it.
No.
Now what?
That's just it.
I mean, it's one thing to be in an accident and have to recover from that. It's another thing to have 3 other family members in similar accidents
Yeah.
that are also recovering, or in one case passed away.
Yeah.
We heard your story. You guys were nominated through the program, and we have a package for you of items that we hope will help to lift your spirit. Well, to start off, Mezzanine Hair Studio has donated a $100 gift card for you guys to go and enjoy a night out.
Oh, wow.
So they're movie gift cards for you guys.
Oh, I haven't been to a movie in 3 years.
Really? Well, this will be great then. Well, if you're going to go to a movie, you should probably go for dinner first. So we also have a $100 gift card from Montana's. I love their ribs. The Pink Wand Cleaning Services has donated a 3-person, 1-hour house cleaning. At Dawn Massage has donated 2 1-hour massages for you guys.
Oh, awesome.
So I don't know if that will help as
I've never had one.
You've never had a massage?
Never.
Oh, they are fantastic there. Bambino's Pub has donated a $200 gift card for London Drugs in Glenna Hope's name. So Glenna Hope worked for London Drugs. She was a huge supporter of the Airdrie Angel program. And Bambino's Pub does fundraisers in her memory.
Okay.
She's since passed away. But we heard that sometimes you guys need things medically, just different things. But they also have other stuff there as well. So we wanted to give you a gift card for that store.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Big Springs Plumbing and Heating has a $200 gift card for groceries for you guys.
Oh, awesome. Thanks, Gus. I use him all the time.
There you go. SVB Events is giving you a $200 gift card for fuel. Finally, 100 Men Who Give a Damn have $500 cash for you for whatever you may need.
That's amazing. Thank you very much.
You guys have faced a lot in the last year and a half. And this whole program is about 2 things. One, trying to lift your spirit as you go through this time, but also to let you know you're not alone. And a lot of people care.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And thanks to everybody.
We couldn't do it without them. These sponsors are what make it happen.
Well, if we get back on our feet, I'm going to do it.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
My initial thoughts are just like having that many car accidents, traumatizing something that you take for granted, that you do like every single day of your life, like that's just debilitating right there.
Yeah.
That you're just like trapped at home, like,
Yeah.
like forget about the horrible injuries, but like to be like, I would be terrified.
Yeah.
Like to get into that many accidents, you think like, wow, like what the, like I don't want to get into a car ever again, kind of thing. And then as a roofer, the way when they were saying he was dizzy and concussion, I thought before they even said like he couldn't go on the roof, something like, how's he doing his job if he's like dizzy and like that's terrible. Like that's the worst kind of injury to have when you have to climb up on roofs.
Right.
And
it's so layered because there's the trauma of the accident, like you said. There's the physical injuries.
Yeah.
They are dealing with a lot of challenges with the work and workplace. And I don't want to get into the details of it because they're challenging things right now.
Yeah.
It's not for our place to jump into that.
Oh, yeah.
But that's another layer.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you also have this happening to other family members, and semis.
Crazy, yeah. Semis, yeah. Like,
And she brought up the Humboldt accident as well. And you can tell this woman wants to advocate for more safety when it comes to semi trucks, which I understand based on what's happened in her life, because these weren't like just like a truck hitting them. These were all semi trucks, gravel trucks, like massive machines. And she just said
not paying attention.
I don't know. And you can tell though that she wants to advocate for that, and I would too if I was in her shoes. But it's amazing because excuse me, at the end there, she said, when we get back on our feet, we want to give back.
That's cool.
And I just thought, you just take care of you right now.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that. But to me,
get yourself back. But
that's exactly the person you want to help.
Yeah.
Is someone who, despite what they're facing, still wants to give back.
Give back, yeah.
Even if they have very little to give emotionally, financially, mentally, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
They still want to find something.
That's a crazy story.
Yeah.
Well, like, and just as they were explaining all the accidents, and then they say, well, that's all happened in the last 18 months. Like that's more than a lifetime of, like, that's just like, that is insane.
Yeah.
Like I'm just blown away. Like the whole, like, I'm still the whole, like, I don't even want to drive home from here now. Like, it's just that whole, like,
I feel you.
You just never know. I guess it goes back to, like, you just never know.
Exactly.
Like, you can have all the best plans and, look after yourself and exercise, but you just never know when it's like, I hate hearing that. That's, but I hope they recover. I hope everything.
Yeah.
I hope they get back on their feet and everything goes
You could tell the package meant a lot to her.
Yeah.
It was just little things here and there to make life feel normal.
Yeah.
And help keep them on track.
Yeah.
Financially as well.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you to all the amazing sponsors that
amazing.
put that together. That was great.
Yeah.
The Real Purpose Podcast is brought to you by Switchback Creative, a marketing and web development company that is committed to telling the story of your brand. Check out our website at switchbackcreative.ca.
All right, Trevor, now we have the second story.
Okay.
Now, when I met with Ella, we decided not to record the audio of it for personal reasons that Ella had.
Okay.
But she said I was more than welcome to share the story. We actually sat down for over an hour.
Oh, wow.
And she was telling me everything she's been through. So I'm going to do my best here to give you the highlights of the story.
Okay.
And try not to miss anything that's really key. Okay. But bear with me as we go through.
Yeah.
So everything started with a pimple on her chin.
Okay.
So it was summer of 2017, and she was really stressed out at that time in her personal life. So she just thought, oh, it's just because of the stress. But it wouldn't go away. So eventually she was like, I need to see a dermatologist.
Yeah.
So she got a referral to a dermatologist, and they went in, and they basically, and I don't want to get too graphic because I think this is rated G, but basically they worked to remove it, and they scraped away layers and layers and layers.
Yeah.
They did as much as they could, and were basically at her bone. Like, she had a hole in her chin.
Wow.
And so they said, we're going to have to do a second surgery to make sure we get everything. And there's, I can't remember the term at this moment, but basically, like,
Margins?
the area, the margin. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So she went in, she had the second surgery, they removed it and did the margins. And she was told that she was cancer-free. Awesome.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. But she still had pain. And it kept
pain just
pain in her, like, this is all in her jaw and her chin area.
Okay,
so she still had that pain. And she kept saying to the doctors, I still have pain, I still have pain. And of course, if you've had surgery like that, one expects to have a certain amount of healing pain.
For sure, yeah.
But it kept persisting. And one thing that was interesting, Ella was totally advocating for herself. When she was sharing her story with me, you can tell that she pushed back and said, you know what, this isn't quite right.
Yeah.
No, there's still more pain here that doesn't seem normal. And I think that's such a huge lesson and reminder that you have to advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
And be honest about what's normal and what's not, right?
For sure, yeah.
So she kept advocating for herself, and eventually they did a second CT scan. So they had done one to make sure the cancer was gone. She got another CT, and they said the cancer is back and is in her jaw. Oh. So she had a surgery. This is intense. They removed a chunk of her jaw, all of her bottom teeth on the one side. They grafted bone from her leg, from her tibia, I believe. It was her lower leg, to build a new jaw. This was cool. I don't know if everyone will think this is cool, but she had a tattoo on her lower leg, like on her ankle. And because they used the muscle and the bone when they created the jaw, you can actually see the tattoo inside her mouth.
What?
That was on her leg. Wow. I think that's so cool. I'm sure some people are like puking in their mouths right now, but I think that's just incredible medical science that we have. Yeah. And then they also grafted skin from her arm to rebuild her jaw on the outside.
Wow.
So she gets the surgery. She's cancer free. Awesome. Then she starts losing her hearing and is on a ton of pain meds. And when I was there, she actually showed me, she had to take her medication at one point, and she said, this is like a third of what I was taking. Like, you know how if you take Tylenol for a headache or something, you're like, I don't want to take too many. Like, you take one because that's what the bottle says. Yeah. She was taking like 4 of those on top of narcotic type medications, which she didn't even want to take originally because they can be addictive. And she's like, I don't want to go down that path. But they were like, no, we will make sure that you don't become addicted to this and all that kind of stuff. But like the woman was on a serious amount of pain medication.
Wow.
So, they did another CT after they, like, because she had lost her hearing and this pain was persisting, and they told her the cancer's back.
What?
And now it's in her brain. So they also told her it's not operable because with the previous cancer, she had done radiation. So the radiation had killed it at the time, but obviously didn't kill it completely if it came back. So the theory is radiation won't work a second time because it didn't work the first time. Otherwise it would have killed it all, but it didn't.
Yeah.
It's still, some of the cells persisted, obviously. And again, that's very rudimentary medical understanding of the situation. So she spoke with another doctor because she was told, you have less than a year to live.
Oh, wow.
Can you imagine? The third time you're told you have cancer and they say less than a year to live. From what she told me, again, I won't get into the details of it, but the way the message was delivered was not the best either. So, I mean, that was just traumatic alone.
Yeah.
So she went to another doctor and they have a trial medication. So she's like, yep, I'll try anything. If it's not operable and radiation won't work, sure.
Yeah.
I asked her how it was going. She said, my hearing has come back.
Oh, wow.
Her pain is way less. And that's when she was showing me the meds and saying, I was taking like almost triple this.
Yeah.
And it was considerably less than what she was. And she had a CT scan at the end of August.
Yep.
She was getting the results the day after I met with her. I ran into her son and I said, how is your mom? And he said, I said, what did the scan say? And he said it had reduced by 2 millimeters and maybe it's 3 or 4, something like that. The point is it had reduced in size. So the meds are working.
Wow.
Which is, and when she told me her hearing was back, I thought, well, it would make sense to me that if there was a mass of some kind and you lost your hearing, it must have been pushing on something, right?
Your nerve, like
So if you get your hearing back, it must not be pushing on that anymore. So when she told me that, personally, I was very optimistic. Wow. Obviously, I'm not a medical professional, but I was still optimistic. And the fact that she's on so much fewer pain meds. But so it was very positive results from the CT scan this September. I'm assuming, I haven't spoken to her since, but I'm assuming the plan would be to continue on this medication and hopefully continue to reduce it and get rid of it. But Yeah. But like all these surgeries, and this was within the last 2 years. Like, I mean, and the surgeries didn't start until 2018, early 2018. So a year and a half of surgery recovery, you're cancer free. Oh, it's back. Surgery recovery, you're cancer. Oh, it's back.
Yeah. The roller coaster of, like, that's just, nobody should have to go through something like that.
And she also has a latex allergy.
Oh, wow.
Which, when you're in the hospital for 3 surgeries,
oh, wow.
And there was some challenges with that as well. Again, I won't go into the details of it, but the point is, she's dealing with a lot.
Yeah.
She's dealing with a lot. So, but so brave. So brave. And yeah.
Well, you know, and while you're telling that story, like, just the so brave part, like when you're saying about, you know, taking bone and skin grafts, and like, just how terrifying that would be. To be told that that's what they're gonna do. Like, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
Like I would be. I don't know how people are brave enough to say, yeah, let's, like, I guess when you're faced with the alternative, but it's just terrifying.
And then it's more like, now you're recovering because you have an incision on your leg, and you have, and the thing is, when they skin graft, it's like a square or a rectangle or whatever.
And it's painful.
Yeah.
Like, from what I know about skin grafts, which isn't much.
A couple of medical professionals here.
Oh, yeah. But it's like, I think it's like really, really painful after, like,
of course it would be.
The part where they've grafted off. It's,
yeah.
And just, you know, like, infections and all the things that you have to be careful. Like, it's amazing how people are brave enough to do that stuff and to go through that. Yeah, wow.
Yeah. So the package that we brought for her, Summerhill Florist did their bouquet of flowers for her.
Awesome.
At Dawn Massage had donated 2 one-hour massages, because this woman is incredibly stressed out, as well as one would be.
Yeah.
Refurbish Group and Dan and Carolyn Wiersma each gave a $100 gift card for an online store, which was fantastic. An anonymous donor gave a $65 gift card for clothing. Then the 200 Club added another $200 for clothing. Cool. This was important because through this journey, she has lost 53 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, you have a scar on your arm, scar on your leg, scars on your face. That alone can make a person extremely self-conscious. Yeah. And then none of your clothes fit because you've lost over 50 pounds.
Yeah.
So sometimes people might wonder, is clothing really... Yeah, it is.
Well,
because
it makes you feel better, too,
exactly.
Right?
Incredibly important. SVB Events gave $200 for gas, which in and out of Calgary lots. Orange Fitness gave $200 for groceries. And David Bowman Painting donated $500 cash for whatever she might need.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I mean, and she was so incredibly grateful and appreciative of the support in the community. And, yeah, she's just one day at a time braving the steps forward.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's goes back to that same, you just never know, right? You
exactly.
Just think you have a pimple on your chin and
yeah.
Whew, that's tough to hear.
Yeah. She was amazing. So was her son, and I just wish that family all the best, and really hope that this child drug.
Yeah, let's hope, and I'd love to hear, a month from now, 2 months from now, like how things are going.
Yeah.
Crazy cool that there was a trial drug too. Like, again, that roller coaster, being told there's no other option.
Right.
And then all of a sudden there is an option, and so, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What people have to go through is amazing. Like, just wow. All right. So now I guess we're on to our purpose pick. And you're probably thinking, what the heck is a purpose pick? This is where we choose a person, company, or idea with a great purpose or great idea, or how they're helping their community out. So my story is I heard about it through a TED Talk, and I will link it in our show notes. And the TED Talk is called The Invention That Unlocked a Locked-In Artist, if you're looking for it, but I'll put it in the show notes. And basically, this is a guy who has a creative agency or a web development agency. I can't remember all of the exact details. But there's this street artist, pretty famous street artist, that got ALS.
Okay.
And he tells the story of like how he was out for a run and he came home and his legs were starting to feel tingly. And,
Okay.
and so he went through and found out that he had ALS. And eventually the disease, I think, just takes all your ability to move away from you. And so he was this amazing street artist that lost his ability to do anything. And at the end, it left with the only thing that he could move were his eyes. And so this guy heard his story and he wrote all the code and kind of sourced out all the products, but made sure that it was really cheap products, like that you can get at like Walmart, like the little computer chips and all the other stuff that goes into it, so that anybody can go to the website and download the program, get the material list, and make this if you need it. So basically, at the end of this whole talk, what he this whole project that he did, what he created were these glasses that would go on to this artist's head. Obviously, he wore them, but he could control this, like it would do like a projection on a wall where he could control with his eyes the drawings, and so he could go back to being a street artist again. And he gave him that ability back. And so it's just a really amazing, touching story. He just like, and it's the reason why I love like even just the web development community, is that like all the programming that went into this is all free. It's all open source, all the shopping list that you need. So if you wanted to duplicate this for somebody, it's cheap and it's free and it's like it's right there. So I really love the story. It hit home for me because the guy was a web developer, or he had a web development agency and he had his team kind of help him build it. Yeah. Anyways, it was a really cool story. I recommend just kind of go out. It's like a 9 minute video where he talks about it. But it's a really neat TED Talk, and that's cool. my purpose pick for this week.
I love that. I love that so much. And I love too that you highlighted a community that maybe people don't think of as being anything but in a cave with a hat and headphones typing away, being web developers. And just like any job out there, there's people behind it. There's people that care, and there are people that are doing amazing things. So we can't underestimate anyone, because everyone can do amazing things.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it was just really
cool. Well, I'm definitely going to go home and watch that TED Talk. I hope you guys do as well.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Well, we are coming to the end of another episode, our second episode. So exciting. And if you guys are liking this, if you're seeing this link on Facebook, like, comment, share, all this stuff. If you are subscribing, you can subscribe to this on Apple.
Yes.
So exciting.
Yeah.
On iTunes.
So grown up.
On Spotify. And I think more, I'm just sort of figuring it all out right now. But subscribe to the podcast. Leave us comments. Leave us your thoughts. We'd love to hear from you. And we just want to be out there spreading purpose. And if you are in the Airdrie area and you know someone who could be a great recipient for the Airdrie Angel program, please go to airdrieangel.ca.
Let us know. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, we are wishing you real purpose in all that you do.